Hey, what's up, guys? It's Cal. So, I was asked a very interesting question today by a couple, and the question was, what do I believe our two weaknesses as a generation are? And this couple was probably in their 60s or 70s, so their curiosity was getting there. I'm sure they have grandchildren and great grandchildren, things like that, right? They want to understand them better, which is completely fine. So, I responded back with our inability to be alone and our indecisiveness in the things that we as alone want to do, right? So those two things go together. First one being the inability to be alone, right? If you're getting into a relationship because you want to be happy, I personally don't believe that's the right decision. If you're getting in a decision because you're happy and you want to make that person's life better or you want to fix it, that's also not a good reason. And the third one is if you're getting in a relationship because you're happy and that person's happy, that's usually when it works. Now, am I saying that's a math problem? No. It's not an exact equation or science. Don't get me wrong here. The second one being our indecisiveness of ourselves. We as a generation spend so much time on each other through social media, through interactions, through parties, whatever, that we forget that we have a life too, right? It happens, life happens. But I believe that the second one, being the indecisiveness, is also our greatest strength because all the tragedies have gone on through our lives, we still have remained confident in where we want to go, but we don't exactly know how to get there, right? So the first step is accepting that you, as a person, need to figure out who you are so that you can sell yourself to the person as in a relationship, as in a job, as in a career, whatever you're trying to do or pursue in life. The confidence goes a long way. It's true, right? So putting yourself out there is a great thing in social events or experiments or whatever you want to call them, right? But being alone and spending that time alone with yourself, reading a book, um, spending time at the spa or alone at a movie or whatever. Spending time with yourself is just as important a relationship as the relationship that you're in. Because, like I said, if you're not happy, they're not going to be happy with you not being happy. So then there's going to be arguments and so on and so forth, right? So the couple was like, well, that sounds all interesting things, but that sounds like every generation, right? And it does. I get that. The only thing that changes is culture, right? Like I said, we've been through all this tragedy and all these things that have happened, and we don't have to mention them because we know, and there's no need to. But through it all, we've remained completely confident that where we want to go is up, but we don't know how to get there. So I'm about to tell you. Spend time with yourself. Make it happen every morning. Spend an hour, 30 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. Spend some time in the mirror looking at yourself, telling you that you're a badass, that you can do whatever you want, that it doesn't matter what that person says, it doesn't matter what the adult says, that you can't do this, you can't chase your dreams, nothing really matters. Because we're in a time where our economy is down. I get that. Whatever that means, nobody really knows, right? The economy's down. But I do know that it's much harder to get a job these days because you have to go online, you have to fill out the application, it takes 20 to 30 minutes to do it. Nobody wants to do that all day. But we do it anyways because we have to get the job, right? And then when we get the job, we don't want to lose it because we don't want to go through that process again. So, I say spend the time with yourself doing those things so that when you go in there, you can change it all, right? I've seen places where, they say that they hire through applications in the HR, which I believe is completely crazy because human interaction is extremely important in our lives. And depression is such a big thing in our generation because, like I said, we don't know how to spend time with ourselves. And this guy is number one. And I'll be completely honest with you, for the past 4 years, I have not been in a relationship. And it's been the past 4 years have been completely amazing, right? Because I've been able to learn who I am, where I need to go, and what I need to do, right? Am I there yet? Of course not. I'm always chasing dreams. I'm always chasing these things, doing these things, right? But going to the gym by myself or going to the movies by myself, basically taking yourself on a date, right? You know what I mean? You don't have to be in a relationship with another physical human being to go on a date. You can date yourself, and it's an amazing thing, right? So do yourself a favor. Find out who you are, where you want to go, what you want to do by spending time alone. Wake up in the morning and look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself confidently that you're amazing, that you're a badass, that you can do whatever you want, that you are the shit. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you say because you're the only one in there, right? Who cares who sees the video? Who cares who sees it? All that matters is that you are doing what you want to do and nothing else matters, right? Now, when you're in a relationship, that other person obviously matters, right? But if both of you aren't happy, then why are you in the relationship? I understand Tinder and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all these things exist, but it's because we allow those things to exist, right? We need those things in our lives because we're always looking. But at the same time, Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat, these things are also subconsciously making us think, how can I be better, right? Not so much in the good way, though. How can I be better as a person? That's the way we should be looking at it. But it's really more like, well, I don't look like that person. I'm not as good as them, right? This is what we do. It's a part of our weakness of ourselves. That's where the indecisive in ourselves becomes, right? Because we're not confident, right? We haven't had people telling us our whole lives, you can do, our whole lives, our parents told us, you can do whatever you want, you can be whoever you want to be, you can do anything. And then you grow up and you try to be a dinosaur trainer and realize there's no dinosaurs, you know what I mean? It's an impossible feat because you can't be whatever you want. To an extent, you can learn to play the guitar and be your own rock star. You can learn to play sports and be an athlete. You can learn all these things and still be that, but not on a high scale, right? It doesn't matter what the media says or social media says to where you have to put yourself. The only thing that matters is that you're happy doing that thing. You got to find a hobby. You got to read. You got to find out who you are. You got to find where you want to be. Because the only thing that matters is that we as a generation change the next generation, right? And I've been completely honest with myself here. I complain about the generation above me and that they didn't do all these things right and whatever. But that's bullshit. It doesn't matter because I'm the next generation that's to set the next generation below us, right? Millennial generation, the economists are saying they do everything wrong. Oh no! But are we really? Because really, we didn't create this world, we're just living in it. The good thing is that if we find our confidence, we find ourselves, we find out where we want to be, what we want to do, this is the primal time to start small businesses. And if you're tired of working for someone else and they're not building your confidence, which in most cases they're not, because they don't understand millennials and they don't know how to treat us, because neither do we. It's the truth. Neither do we. I used to be asked at work, what can we do to change? And in the videos of, the millennial project, it's like, oh, we want beanbags and we want snacks, and then they're still leaving. Because that's not happiness. You know why? Because we're not happy with ourselves. Find happiness in yourself and find confidence in where you want to be. Let's go.